up, y'all? It's me, Erica, and we are down here. Peace, y'all. Take care of each other. Protect your energy. What's up, everybody? It's me, Erica, and we are down here, honey, to talk about Love and Marriage Huntsville. Now, Love and Marriage Huntsville was really, really good. It was so good. It was so good, baby. When I tell you that last scene, KeKe knows something. Miss Cousin knows something. The way she was sitting there smirking at Marsau, baby, I was like, "Ooh, she knows something. She knows something." Anyway, so when KeKe comes in, she sits down next to Tisha and she tells Tisha, "You look pretty." She's like, "You look pretty too." She was like, "I haven't seen you in a long time." She was like, "I haven't seen you either." So she was trying to be cordial, but then Tisha remembered, "Bitch, I'm supposed to be mad at you. I ain't even supposed to be talking to you anyway." And she was like, "No, we could talk." She was like, "I called you earlier this week." She was like, "I didn't see that you called me." She was like, "But I called you. I did call you." And she was like, "We're amongst family, so let's go ahead and talk, girl." She said, "I just want to know why things change. You know, you and Mel's relationship, you was sitting around other people talking about me, and I'm your cousin. Um, you don't join in on a conversation and people are talking about me. If it's family, that's different. If it's all family and they talking about KeKe's business or Tisha's business, that's different. But these women are not family, and you are my family. You broke code. Even if your family is fucked up, when you're amongst people who are not family, you do maintain some code of ethics, right? But when you sit up with other people and talk about your family, that's grounds for divorce and termination. That's grounds for the termination of the relationship. I wholeheartedly believe that. If you're sitting up with somebody, and and then it depends, right? But when you're sitting up with someone talking about my relationship and not being completely honest to the point, and what you're talking about can change my reality in a way that could end my marriage, like you're trying to destroy my marriage. That's what Tisha is saying, right? You guys are talking about my marriage. You're sitting amongst people who I'm not cool with talking about my marriage. That is grounds for termination. It is. It is. You feel the need to bring out my business. So Tisha stops everybody. She says, "Okay," because everybody's listening, right? So she says, here's Tiffany. I don't remember the sister's name. Here's so-and-so and so-and-so. These are her sisters. I want to let y'all know that KeKe has been holding on to something for about 5 years. And it was my personal business. And she said we told her personal business to Mel and Martinez. And she's trying to get back at me by talking about me. So I'm done. They said it was about 5 or 6 years ago at Christmas dinner, and it was something you lied about, because when Tisha came back to sit down, KeKe kept explaining, because Tisha got up and left. She went over to get some water, and when she came back, she was like, "But you lied about it." So what it sounds like to me is that when KeKe was, because the rumor is that there was something about bed bugs, that KeKe had bed bugs. I don't know if KeKe was just in a low point of her life, because the way she said it, I don't know, people in Huntsville don't know my business. And then Marsau said, "They saw you." So when he said that, I was thinking like they saw her on the street, like running around, like was she on drugs or something? But then there's like another story that says she had bed bugs. And I don't know if Mel or Martell, they were going to take the kids over to her house, and they were like, "Don't go over there." And when Marsau said, "Just because it's your business doesn't mean it's not everybody's business. It doesn't, just because it's your personal business doesn't mean it's not somebody else's business." And he's right. To me, you would feel like, yeah, that's my personal business if I have bed bugs. I don't want you telling nobody. But if I have my friends, Mel and Martell, are bringing their children over your house, or you're going to be on a show, there's something about her that we need to let you know before you start developing a friendship, or before you take your children over there. It's something like that. And I completely understood what Dolphin Lips was saying. Just because it's your personal business and you're ashamed of it doesn't mean it's not everybody's business. People need to know. We need the Yelp reviews. Sorry, boo. Sorry, boo. Just because, yeah, he said, just because it's your business doesn't, just because it's your personal business doesn't mean it's not anyone's business. Bernard start talking. Marsau tells him to shut the fuck up. Shut up, talking to me. We settle everything, and then she starts something again. Thank you for telling my business and lying on me. And then they start arguing and stuff, and Tisha keeps telling her, I'm not the one. I'm not the one. I'm not the one. Don't fuck with me. I'm not the one. I've never done anything to you. And then she says, you're doing it now. You're doing it now. I could bring the drama. This is all Marsau's fault. This is all Marsau's fault. Then Wanda stops everybody. She tells everybody, y'all need to talk one at a time. We need to act like we're civilized. This motherfucker done already said we from the other side of the tracks. And here you niggas is in here acting like you from the other side of the tracks. Tighten up. That's basically what she said. And the whole Huntsville know. He said, they saw you. He says, you better think. And she's like, I never told you anything about my husband cheating on me. She says, you better think about what you said to me. You better think about what you said. She was like, I didn't never talk to you about cheating. The way that KeKe made it seem was that they were just talking in general about husbands cheating. And see, if KeKe was a real family member, she would say, I told that bitch that you told me if Marsau ever cheated on you, you were going to take him for everything he got. That's how you clean that up, KeKe. Because everybody knows Tisha done said that before. So you're not smart. You're not quick enough. That's the problem. That's probably why you didn't get cast on the first season. You're not quick enough. I would have said, bitch, I didn't say nothing about Marsau cheating on you. I told that girl, and that's what Marsau was saying. Whatever you shared with Melody about, Melody is using it as a weapon against LaTisha, and you were the hammer, right? You were the weapon. You were used. And you can't even see that. And that's what's the crazy part. And she can see it. I feel like she allowed herself to be used. She's mad at LaTisha for telling her business. But Marsau is at the point where we needed to tell them your business because it would have affected our relationship with them. That's like, it's the same thing. It's like, I don't know. It's like telling somebody you going over KeKe's house. She got somebody living over there who's on this offenders list. I wouldn't let your kids go over there. Yeah, that's your personal business, but it's other people need to know. She got bed bugs. Don't send Mighty Man. What's his name? What's the little boy's name? Tank. Don't send Tank and Malia over there. The babies, the Eminem kids. Don't send them over there. KeKe got bed bugs. It's nobody's business, but once you start allowing people in their life, it becomes their business too. I don't know what the rumor is. I'm just making shit up, but I keep seeing bed bugs in the comments. She had bed bugs and they told her business. So KeKe says, I know something about, it's all your fault. I know something about you or something, she said. And Tisha said, tell it. She said, yeah, okay. She started telling it, and the sisters started grabbing. Did you see everybody start grabbing her? Like, no. They kept saying, no, don't say nothing. Don't say nothing. And she was sitting there. He said, say it. I'll burn this motherfucker down. Basically, the people online would say, he probably said, I'll cut everybody off. Ain't nobody getting money. Say something about what I've done. Ain't nobody getting money. The other sister was like, think about what you about to say. Don't say nothing. They was trying to get KeKe. KeKe was sitting over there with this little smirk on her face like, motherfucker, you lucky. These people are grabbing at me. Because I'm about to let your ass have it. So she knows something. She knows something about him, and clearly, because when Tisha and Dolphin Lips went to the little coffee house, she was like, and she talking about she knows something about me. Yeah, that's what I was trying to get her to say. Yeah, you was trying to get her to say because you want to know what she know too. That's what I was trying to get you to say. Just let her say it. Yeah, because Tisha, you ain't slick. You want to know too. You want to know what KeKe was over there looking like the Cheshire Cat, smiling, girl. Put it all on the table. Her husband got up. He was like, "You can't be talking to my wife like that. You gonna be that kind of dude. You gonna be that kind of dude." So it was. He was like, "Put it all out there." He was like, "I'll burn this motherfucker out. I'll lay this motherfucker down. I'll burn everything down." He said it was brought to you maliciously. KeKe and Mel's friendship is Mel using KeKe. We've been there. KeKe, you were the one who told the Holts we're trying to team up and destroy my marriage. And now you want to team up with her? I wouldn't do that. I ain't never talked about that with you. I have never talked about that with you, with Marsau cheating. Well, and then why would you bring it up? You feel like Mel is trying to destroy? Do you feel like Mel is trying to destroy the relationship? She's like, I don't see that. That's what KeKe's saying. I don't see that. I don't see that, girl. She was like, Mel brought it to you to start some mess and you fell for it. No, she didn't fall for it. So you don't want to absolve KeKe of her involvement like she's some dummy and Mel used her. She allowed herself to be used. Because in that moment when they were at the house, she could have asked Mel. Mel could have asked her, did Tisha talk to you anything about, you know, Marsau and her's relationship? Yeah, she said something like if she ever caught that motherfucker cheating on her, she was going to take him for everything he has. You could have said something like that. You stupid. You stupid. Maybe you are dumb and the girl used you. I don't know. Anyway, so Kimmi and Destiny, they go sit down and eat. Not sit down and eat. That was Melody and Kimmi. They went to Destiny's house. And she said, I haven't seen you since the housewarming. What's up with you and Stormy? She says, I really like her. She wants to know where she went wrong. So that's good that she wants to know. But then she makes an excuse. She says, well, let's start off with the sweetie thing. She was like, I've called her sweetie before. Yeah, but you weren't in conflict. And I don't want to hear, I'm so tired of y'all saying it's a Southern thing. I'm from Southern California. And when I moved to Atlanta, I lived in Atlanta for 7 years. And what I gathered was that it's not Southern hospitality, it's condescending passive aggressiveness with some sugar on it. That's what I've learned. So when you call somebody sweetie, it's not a Southern thing unless you want to say it's that nice, nasty, passive aggressive, condescending approach. You could say that. But it ain't a Southern thing to call somebody sweetie. Sweetie. We do that when we want to get smart with somebody. Girl, sweetie, doll, everything. We know, and you know the tone. You know the tone. Something as sweet as sweetie. When you're in an argument, bitch, don't call me sweetie because I know what you're trying to do. So don't say that it was Southern, girl. Shut up. When reason and logic go out the window, I have to remove myself. Yeah, that's what I wrote. Nice, nasty, passive aggressive, condescending. It's a Southern thing. Okay, girl. Going through a divorce was hard. I know she was going through a divorce too. It wasn't the same set of circumstances, but it's kind of the same pain. And the loss of a friend during a divorce is hard. I honestly think losing a friend is harder than losing a partner, a romantic partner, because your friends know. So to me, I feel like your friends know so many more details than your partner does about you. Even outside of your relationship with your partner, they just know personal things about you. And when you break up, it's hard. It's like breaking up with a romantic partner. And I do think that women and men need to talk more about when they break up with their friends and how that affected them. Because we always talk about breaking up with intimate partners, but we never really spend so much time on talking about breaking up with friends. You know what I mean? And it is hard. I remember breaking up with a friend that I had since I was 15 years old. It took me, I want to say, about 4 years to like literally get it out of my system to where when I would recall, memories or instances that I wouldn't get mad. I still don't want that bitch at my funeral, but at the same time, I don't hold on to, it doesn't trigger those negative emotions anymore, I should say. So I could understand, but I feel like Destiny could really how do you not understand that you were this man's friend? And when you talk to him, you talk about her, and she doesn't want you talking about her. So the way that I can make sure that you're not talking to my ex-husband about the things that I'm doing, because you like to run your mouth, and you're one of those girls who likes to run your mouth about everybody else but yourself. So in an effort to keep you from telling my ex-husband my business, I need to move away from you. And I really wish that male had the balls to say that. I really wish she had the pussy lips to tell her, girl, you don't like to talk about yourself when you're around people. You like to talk about other people. And when you're with my ex-husband, you like to talk about me, because he's going to ask about me. He's going to continue to ask about me until he can't speak, because he knows what he fucked up, right? So when you're with him and you start talking about me, I don't want him to know shit about me. So in order to do that, I need to keep you out of my circle so you don't know shit about me to report back to his ass. And that's just it. And I really wish that she would just tell her that, because that's what it is. And I don't blame her. You talking to a nigga that I don't fuck with, I can't fuck with you like that, especially knowing how you move. You're my friend. And I know when we're together, you never talk about yourself. You talk about everybody else but yourself. You know you like to go through things alone. So you don't you talk about everybody else. So I'm going to fix that. You're not going to be able to talk to Martell about me. And that's it. Destiny says, I don't have the issue. She does. She said, I felt like it was, no, Kimmi said, do you feel like it was just a speed bump? And she's like, no, I'm just going to give her space. When I realized I wasn't invited for the sleepover, I realized that we're not in the good space, and she's the one with the problem. I don't have a problem with her. I would like to continue to be friends, but she doesn't want to be friends with me. So there's nothing else that I can do. And that's the best way to approach it. Because if Mel isn't going to be forthright, then what else can you do? Because she's just sitting there looking, the way she, baby, when I tell you the way that Mel was looking at Kimmi sitting at that table, like, and she was like, girl, what is that look? I don't like that look. Because she was trying to figure out what to say. Just trying to figure out what to say. Anyway, so Martell, he sits down with Melanika, his manager, and it's a weird meeting. I don't know why they were meeting where they were meeting. I don't know why they didn't meet in the office. Maybe because it was like, let's meet outside, just whatever. But it sounded like they were planning his event. And they said he's going to launch his sweet red wine in Atlanta. They plan on 30 to 40 people. You're going to have to get this the guest list. We're going to have to get, we want to work on branding. So when people see this, they know it's you. We'll have a violinist there, something intimate and sexy. We'll have 40 bottles or 30 to 40 bottles. This is about legacy, family, the wine. LaTisha and Marsau, they go sit down and they have coffee. And he says, next, I'm going to really have to seriously consider going to one of your family events the next time. And she was like, yeah. He was like, T-Man was over there talking crazy to me. Bernard was talking crazy to me. Bernard is like a male Wanda. I can't. He was like, man, shut the fuck up. Get the hell away from me, baby. And then like you saw Bernard come over there and was like, man, I'm so glad y'all talk. Now go get your funky ass away from me. Bitch, Marsau was so pissed off at them people because they was about to expose him. And he was so mad. He was so mad. He was about to be exposed, honey. He was like, the answer right now is no. What about if we get a new truck? This is what Tisha said. He was like, they need to bring a real plan. They need to bring a real plan. Because the truth be told, Wanda just knows how to cook. And, that's subjective. Okay? And she don't know nothing about running a business. She just wants you to hand her some money so she can fuck it off in about 18 months or 2 years. When they say restaurant businesses last the most 2 years, she don't know how to run a business. And at first I was like, yes, as long as, like I remember on the review, I said, as long as she has somebody helping her run the business. And Marsau said it will be Tisha, because Tisha's going to want to make sure she sees a return on her investment. So she's going to be down there working. You need somebody who's not just looking for a handout, and somebody who's actually going to run the business and make sure that it lasts longer than 2 years. You have strong and mouthy women in your family. Just because you're mouthy doesn't mean you're strong. KeKe's sisters made all the sense that they were saying. They were asking me logical questions that I could answer, whatever. But KeKe, she was over there twisting up words, twisting shit around. She did not sound logical at all. She's twisting things up, and it affects other people. If I'm introducing you to someone and I don't warn them about you, then now I'm going to be held accountable for saying, like, why didn't you tell me this motherfucker had bed bugs? Why you didn't tell me this motherfucker was dating a sex offender? Why you didn't tell? I'm not saying that KeKe's dating a sex offender, but it's stuff like that. It's like, well, that's my personal business. No, if I am going to be introducing people to you, I need them to know. I've been at this restaurant, and let me tell you what it's like, okay? What can you say? What can she say? Tisha was like, that's why I was trying to get her to say it. Tisha wants to know what you were saying. She was just looking at me, and I just realized that this girl does not like me. This girl does not like me. And she probably doesn't. Just because you family doesn't mean the motherfucker has to like you. I mean, we know that on experience, right? You did things, you did hurtful things, people who do hurtful things to you, and she doesn't care. You just don't allow a person to do that again. Family or not, this feeling that you are obligated to continue unhealthy relationships with family is going to roll over into your relationships with friends, into your relationships with your intimate relationships, into your relationships with coworkers, into the relationships that you have with your job. If you allow people to mistreat you and not cut them off and not tell them you have boundaries, you're going to see that in every aspect of all relationships that you have. And that's just how it goes, because you learn how to navigate relationships from your family, right? Mom and dad, siblings, grandma, grandpa, your family. You learn that from your family. So when you go out in the world and you just say, I'm allowing myself to be in this negative relationship with a family member, cousin, grandmother, grandfather, whoever, mother, father, brother, sister, I'm continuing this toxic relationship with this person. You need to cut them off. Now, it doesn't say that you don't love the person, but you're not going to allow them to get close enough to you to do it again. And that's just it. And I'm not going to have expectations of people. I don't know why Bernard is picking on you. They feel like I don't come hard enough on you, so they feel like they have to ask you the questions. I'm tired of all these hypotheticals. Well, Marsau, you use hypotheticals all the time. You use hypotheticals in order to deflect from the real question. You do it all the time. If you want a serious question, I expect serious answers. This is what Tisha is telling him. Stop playing around when I'm asking you questions. That's one of the things that I find, the way that men communicate with women, where you're like, when you're asking questions and you want to skip around the question, deflect, ask questions that don't make sense, get stuck on a single word and then argue about the single word that you use. It wasn't at 12 o'clock. It was at 12:30. See, you always talking shit. You always saying something that's wrong. And they staying stuck on something that's so insignificant. And then they blow that part up so that they can deflect from the real issue. Can you be careful what you bring to me? Yes. I understand what he's saying. Don't bring everything to me. Everything that's in the blogs, please don't bring that shit to me. It's a question of my character. However, nigga, your character is questionable. The way that you talk, the way that you say things, the innuendos, the little clues, the games that you play, it's a question of your character. To me, it's a question of your character that you hang around with a man who actively cheats on his wife, and you take pictures and hanging out with the side chick. That says a lot about your character too. It does. And I think about the times where people that I've known bring their side chicks around family. You just really put your family in an uncomfortable position when you bring your family and your friends. But if they're okay with it, that says something about their character. If they're not checking it, let me tell you something. It is a questionable character. And let me tell you something. If I'm bringing something to you, Marsau, it's because it is a question of your character and it's out of your character. So I need to ask you a question so that you can clarify. And so that we don't have any confusions because somebody is questioning your character. And part of that, that's the only thing I'm going to bring to you is when something is questioning your character. And I feel like we need some clarifications. They said you out here cheating. You was in Atlanta. Oh yes, I was in Big. I was in Atlanta with Chris Fletcher. All them games, that shit is for the birds. That shit is for the birds. So Kimmi and Mel go and sit down. She says she had a nice time with Tiffany. Mel says she went to Eutaw with Tiffany and it was a nice time. Eutaw, child, did you see Tiffany when she walked into the compound and had on them white heels and that blazer? That's why people think you 52 years old, because you dress like an old church mother. Girl, what do you do with them? I said, look at her with them white pumps on, girl. Anyway, so they were sitting down and she said, I went to check on Destiny. This is what Kimmi was telling Mel. I went to check on Destiny and she talked to me about what happened and all this other stuff. And do you guys think you'll be able to get back there? When at the Galentine's event, when she was, frustrated and I was in the back with her, you came back there to check on her. Were you just checking on her, or were you like checking on a friend? And she says, if we're not, this is what Mel says, if we're not cool, that doesn't mean that I wish you bad. That doesn't mean that if I see you in crisis that I'm not going to come and ask you if you're okay. That's just the type of person that I am. And she says, well, I thought it was a little more. It wasn't more. Was I just making something up? And she was like, I thought it spoke to you guys' history. And Mel said, no, it speaks to Mel's character. It's like, Kimmi was looking at her like, bitch, shut the fuck up. It speaks to my character. It speaks to my character. It speaks to my character. If I see somebody upset, that's just me. She says, was it just Mel? Being the peace. She's like, when Destiny and Tiffany were having their issues, it was Mel the peacemaker, right? I called her. We had a conversation a few days after Galentine's. We had a conversation. It wasn't going well. And I told her, listen, I think you're so busy defending yourself. You're not listening to me. Maybe we should have this conversation tomorrow. She said she didn't call her. So she felt like maybe she's okay. And then I know Kimmi was like, and you haven't called her to check on her at all? She's like, because she's here. She doesn't have a family. She doesn't have tribe. Mel said, I don't know why she's acting like she doesn't have support, because Mel, as we all know, and I was very critical of the way that Mel extended her support to Destiny by saying, I don't need you as my tribe, but I can be your tribe, right? She even told Destiny that her kids don't like her. So you don't have to be a part of my tribe. I'll be there for you when you need me. But at the same time, I'm moving back from you because you talked to my ex-husband about me. Mel, I want Mel to be forthright. She's not being honest. Yes, you told that girl that you would be her support system, but in the way that you told it, I don't really want to know if I would seek your support if you told me in the manner that you told me. Oh, I'll be your support system, but I don't need you to be mine. I got my tribe. So this ain't, I don't need you in my life, but I'll be in your life. That's not nice. And maybe it's a Southern thing. Maybe it's a night like, oh, well, I'm there for you. That's just part of my character. I'm there for you, but I'm going to back away from you. I'm not going to put in the effort to call you and check on you. I told you I would be your tribe. So that means that Melody, you would call her and check on her, because she's in Huntsville by herself, but she hasn't called you. And so you've just left it at that. Okay. If you need me, I got you. She said, and she's like, but I wouldn't know what's going on because I haven't talked to her. So that's to Kimmi's point. I thought you said you would be her tribe. So there's two things happening. You don't want to talk to her. I know you don't want to talk to her because she still talks to Martell. But then at the same time, you're saying, I'll be your tribe. I'll be your tribe if you need me. But you don't call her. There's two things together that don't match. It's like the magnets that you try to put together, and they're not sticking together because they don't go together. So the creep squad, they're on the bus on the way. They're making jokes about linebackers. We're gonna have fun as long as it doesn't involve cheating. Um, it's gonna be some licking, some looking, some smacking. Martell says, I'm about to act up. I'm single. I'm about to act up. Can you imagine what kind of act up you about to do? Because you's a married man having your side chick take pictures of you and your friends and shit all at the baseball games and everything like that. So what are you really about to do? I love when a newly divorced man who his wife divorced him for cheating on her and having a baby on her to turn around and say he's about to act up. That's the idea. And then you hear Dolphin Face talking about if you're around a bunch of single women and a married man, it's the deal is to have self-control. Okay, girl, self-control. All right, y'all, that's the end of it. Take care of each other, protect your energy. Let's get down in the comments. Peace.